Hello, this will take us through this little exercise here where we'll look at basically variables, expressions, operators, and a bunch of different things. So if we were in class, we would have some baggies and some markers and some post-it notes. So let's just sort of go through and see what's going on here. So the idea is that we could put on these post-it notes basically some values, and they might be numbers. You might recognize these as integers, okay? And then we might put some text, and these would be called strings. And notice that there are quotation marks around it. That's important. Strings or text is usually identified by the quotation marks, okay? So the idea is we've got two types of data, numbers and strings, and they are sitting on these pieces of paper. Those are values. Now we can have operators, right? These are your typical, right, order of operations. Same idea here. We've got our plus, minus, multiply, and divide. So notice your multiply and your divide are a little bit different, right? They're not the division sign and the X sort of for multiply. They're there. Always check your number pad. That will remind you. So you can have an expression where you can have two values and you combine them with an operator. So 2 plus 3 evaluates to 5. Pretty straightforward. So that's, like I said, is an expression, and hopefully you can do this expression as well, 5 minus 1. Now, these, of course, pretty straightforward, okay, hopefully. This is a little bit odd, but it does make sense. If you had a string plus a string, right, you had two strings together, you get a new string, which just combines them. Some languages let you do this without problems. You can combine gr plus 8, a string plus an integer, and get great. Okay, sometimes this causes problems, so we'll talk about that later. And 2 plus a, right, makes that. So it makes sense. So if you look at these, you can kind of do these in your head. I'll run through them here, but 4 plus 5, of course, right, makes sense. These ones, like I said, a little bit odd, but they make sense. Notice we are not dividing or subtracting, okay, with strings. That would be a little bit weird, okay, if you tried to do that. Now you can multiply strings and you get string replication. I don't think the video or this slideshow shows you that, but if you did tree times 3, you get tree. Now the idea is that the variables sort of hold values, and they're just names given to really a chunk of memory, and you could put anything you want in that memory basically. So you can see here you've labeled some memory zip, and you give it a value 2. You've got whoop, and they put high in there. Zip2, you could put anything in there, right? Whatever value you want. Go ahead and put it in there. Now, in zip, you've got 5. Bop, you've got high. So the idea here is that if you did 3 plus zip, well, the value of zip is 5. So it's really saying 3 plus 5. So if you sort of run this, right, it would give you 8. Bop plus zip, well, bop is high, zip is 5, so it would be high 5. These are really interesting, aren't they? Good. So it's pretty straightforward. So if you want to do these ones, right, so think about these before I run it here. But you've got boo is set to 4, rar is set to b. So you've got 3 times boo. Well, that's really 3 times 4. So you should get 12. There we go. Rar plus ep. Well, rar is really b, so you get beep. Okay? And then rar plus boo, so b4. There you go. Okay, so we're going to look at these again, right? Same idea. So var is a word in JavaScript, sort of a keyword that sets up a new variable. So what we're just doing here, this is theoretically in your code, you've got var, creating a variable, and we're calling it pow. This arrow, now, because this course lets you use any language you want, to do the assignment, which you're used to using as a sort of an equal sign, we are just using this arrow. So we're saying this value, so 3 in this case, is being assigned to pow, or pow is set to the value of 3. So assign, these are what's called the assignment operator, and that's, like I said, it just sets it to that. So it says here variables can only hold one value, one sticky, right? And if there's one in there already, it gets replaced. So you get reassignment. So we create this variable called pow. We initially assign 3 to the variable, but on second thought, we change it to 5. So now this is completely gone. Pow has the value of 5 assigned to it. So if you kind of watch the graphic, right, create this variable. Okay, so this bag, this holder called pow, we put 3 inside the variable, and then we get rid of the 3 and then put in the 5. So the 5 replaces it there. Okay. So if you look at this one, again, you can sort of see what you think is going to happen. You've got var pizza. Pizza is set to 3. You've got another variable called tacos. Pizza is set to yum, and tacos is set to the best. So nothing too interesting here, but just sort of to give you that idea. In the end, pizza is set to yum, tacos is set to the best. Okay, so again, same idea. We've got a variable. Okay, so we just labeled some memory. We put this expression into it. So what ends up happening, whoops, I keep going to jump ahead there. What ends up happening is that the 1 plus the 2 will evaluate that expression. So really there's 3 sitting in there. Okay, same thing. We reassign it 3 and 4. There's really 7 sitting in there. So like it's just showing the 3 is disappearing and we're getting the 7. So again, see what you would do here. So you've got 2 variables, zao and fly. We set fly to being today. We set zao to being 4 minus 1, which is 3. And then we set fly to being 3 and times 3. So really this has disappeared, right? This has been replaced. So now if we did, and then zao is being replaced by 4 plus now, so for now. So fly would end up being 9. Zao would end up being for now. So if we just run that through. Oh, I guess I was too impatient there. Just a second. Oh, sorry, it's just showing the final things, right? There we go. Okay, next. Right, so again, assign a variable with the variables. So if we run through here, and again, you should probably pause me and see what it does. But you've got kit. Kit is assigned to 1. Boo is a set to kit plus 1. We put there basically 1 plus 1. But then it says kit is assigned 5. So even though, right, later on kit becomes 5, at this point, because this instruction is first, then we have, this is still 1 plus 1. So boo would be 2, right? Kit in the end would be 5. So if we just sort of run this through, kit's created, put 1 in there, kit 1, it's still got that, we've got boo, kit 1, and then boo, so boo is assigned to 2, and then that last, kit is going to have 5 in it, because it's thrown out, put the 5 in it, and boo is set still to 2. Okay. Again, run this in your head first, okay, but I'll run through it, you can pause me. Okay, so we got 2 variables created, and we put values in it, right? I guess I went a little bit ahead there, but we got 5, and then it's fuzz plus 2, so that would be 7. Okay, in clip, and you might want to write these down as you go. Fuzz is clip plus 1, so that would be 8, right? Clip is set to gr plus 8, right? That's great. And then fuzz would be 9, whatever fuzz was, so then it was 10, and then it was 11, right? So fuzz keeps increasing its value, because we take the original fuzz, whatever it was here, like in the last line, and then we keep adding 1 to it. So that's how it becomes 11. So these are the takeaways. They're in the notes below, so you can take a look at them. But right, numbers and strings are 2 different types of values, and there's more than just this. Expressions always evaluate to a single new value, so you can sort of combine them to be one value. When variables are an expression, when variables are in the expression, just make a copy. Don't change the actual value. So they're just being used, basically, right? Variables are assigned a new value. So we have that arrow representing the assignment. Evaluate first, then assign. So we sort of reduce it to the simplest, right? Then we assign it. Old values, they go thrown in the trash. We don't remember them. They can be gone. And assignments just moves information around. It does not connect the variables. Okay, there's no connection. They're just putting that value in. So In JavaScript and many languages, most languages, this arrow here that's used in AP Comp Sci, just because we're using this, like I said, a pseudo language so that we can understand it for any language, no matter what you study this course in, is really an equal sign. So what we see here in fuzz is a sign, fuzz plus 1, would be written fuzz is equal to fuzz plus 1. But you should not think of this as the equal sign, because later on we'll talk about the double equal sign, which really means equals. Okay? So, like it says, in programming, this equal sign means a little bit different. Put this value in this variable. Assign it. Okay? Good. So hopefully that gives you a good explanation of what's going on here. And good luck working through the rest of it.